Welcome to our class. I'm going to come back here so you can see our lovely ladies here. My name is Amy Glenn, and for those of you online and here, and this is my house. Welcome. We're here tonight for essential oils in the kitchen, or cooking with essential oils. And we've got Caty here and Alex, and they're both going to teach you some really great stuff. I actually asked these ladies to teach this particular topic because they've been doing a lot of cooking with oils and sharing a lot of really great recipes lately, and it's been a lot of fun. And so yeah, every month we have a different topic class here in my house, and we broadcast online. If you're joining us online, we're doing this live, but we also record this, and it's always posted on my YouTube channel. So there'll be a link to each of the Facebook groups, and you're welcome to share that with people. So housekeeping, we have a washroom just right here, and one at the very top of the stairs. If you just turn left, it's up there. And we've got some really great food that both Caty and Alex have prepared here. And we'll let them tell you a little bit more about it later on. But I do have a veggie tray and a fruit tray. And the fruit dip is with tangerine essential oil. And then there are two different things going on in the veggie tray. We have hummus with lemon essential oil, and then a dill dip that has dill essential oil in it. So that's fun. If you guys want to snack while we're having this class, you totally can. The food back here, we're going to dish up for you, and we'll let you sample it at the very end. Okay? So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and let Alex and Caty take it away, and I'm here to help out too. All right?
Awesome. Thank you guys for coming today. I really appreciate you spending the next hour with us and learn how essential oils work with our body and how we can cook with them. Some of you may know me, but some of you may not know me. My name is Alexandra. I'm a mother of 3 little girls under the age of 10. I am also a student, wellness advocate now, and a wife. This year, I started with doTERRA, and I got introduced in August by Mindy, who's right at the front here. I've been using their products for 7 years prior, but I didn't really know how to really use and benefit from every single oil. So when I met this really great team in Calgary, I decided to switch and just learn, and just since then I've just had a passion for learning. One of the things I'm really passionate about is just helping people. So this company gave me the opportunity to help people with natural solutions, and for anybody who's interested in cooking, which I like cooking, gave me the opportunity to learn how to use these oils in our daily routine.
Sorry to interrupt, but does anybody have a BMW parked in the driveway next door?
Me.
Okay.
In trouble?
The neighbor needs to.
Oh, the neighbor actually lives there now?
Yeah, he lives. Okay. Okay, thanks, girl. Okay, sorry, guys.
No worries.
Okay.
Just thank you.
So this, the last couple of months, Caty joined, and I've seen some of her really great recipes that she had shown me, and then I got to taste them, and she had really inspired me into getting back into using essential oils in cooking, because it's something that I wasn't doing all the time. And when I saw her pictures and she had posted one class, I was blown away. I said, you gotta do this a little bit more often and share with other people. So I'm going to let Caty introduce herself as well.
Hello everyone, my name is Caty. I'm also a mother of 2, a wife, recent doTERRA wellness advocate. For the first time this past summer, I was introduced to doTERRA oils actually back home when I was traveling after 14 years in Canada. So my cousins, they were like very happy to talk about doTERRA, which at that time I didn't know. So I came back to Canada and I did a little bit of research about the company. I was really inspired about the mission of the doTERRA, about what they do, about their co-impacting sourcing, about the Healing Foundation. So Alexandra, she was having a class, so when I seen doTERRA, I was like, I called her and I was like, I really wanted to be part of it because I'm really interested and I want to find out more about these essential oils. So I joined doTERRA in October, and in November I decided to go a little bit further and become a wellness advocate. So I'm really happy that I'm here today, and I was like, I'm just gonna go and start cooking because this is what we do every day as a mothers. We cook and we want to take care of our families and give what's best for them, right? So I'm very happy that I'm part of it. So one of the topics tonight is about cooking with essential oils. So I'm very happy to introduce and tell you what I discovered so far.
Awesome. So, was everybody here for the housekeeping? Or did anybody walk in this? I think, yeah, everybody's good. Okay, I'm gonna get started. So I just wanted to ask everybody if anybody knows what essential oils are, and if anybody has used them, or if they know how to use them, or if they know what they are. Anybody?
Yeah, essential oils can actually be used for pretty much everything.
Awesome.
From cleaning your house right down to healing an ailment or something in your body.
That's really good. It's really good. Thank you so much for sharing that. So essential oils are compounds that are naturally extracted from plants, seeds, the roots, and they come from all different fruits. And they have two different processes that they use. One of them, they use steam distillation or cold pressing. It's not going to get into the scientific part of it, but some of our oils that we're going to cover tonight, I can quickly mention which one are steam distilled or which one are cold pressed. And so you can see the difference. And so with essential oils, because they're very potent, when cooking with them, we don't use a whole lot of oils. One bottle has about 260 drops. So you're going to have a bottle that might last you from 6 months to even a year. I cook every single day except maybe Sundays. And then I realized that even with the herbs that I'm using a whole bunch of parsley at one time. If I use the oils and you're cooking with them, you might just want to use a drop to 2 drops, depending on how much herbs you're going to need for that specific recipe. They're very potent. They're about 50 to 70% times stronger than regular herbs. So in my recipes, I used about 2 maximum for all the recipes that you see at the back. And that saved me the money for not buying the herbs. Also, I can use the oils over again, and you're not wasting as well. So with the herbs, I definitely love some dry herbs, but my to-go-to is the oils because I have a chance to use them over and over again, and they have a very long life shelf as well. Our oils are certified pure therapeutic grade. They are medicinal, also for medicinal use. They are third-party tested. So someone that doesn't work with doTERRA comes and tests our oils. And I think they go through a process between 3 to 7 times that they test them. And then if the batch isn't good, they won't even bring it out. Like, their quality has to be there. These are the only oils that you can use internally. The company also sells the vegetable capsules where you can put your oils and you can use them for internal use as well. They're free of chemicals and pesticides, and also beyond organic. So where we collect our oils from, very indigenously. So we get our oils from all over the world from different farmers. And heat, temperature, soil, everything. In order for the oil to have its quality and its potency, everything matters. Also, like Camille had mentioned, they're used for different things. So not just for cooking, but also as your first aid, if you want to make your own cleaning bottles, different solutions. if you burn yourself, like you got your lavender right in hand, put it on your hand. If you can't find anything on hand, like you have, what else? Home remedies for colds. There's so many natural remedies where you can introduce the oils into your daily routine and help your children and your families. So mine's right beside my kitchen. My box is sitting right beside my, not beside the stove, not good beside heat, and they're away from the window. So it's good to keep them in a dark place, in a box. Quality oils should be stored in bottles that are dark colors, and they should have a color like this to protect the oils as well. Okay, so I want to mention a little bit about doTERRA, what doTERRA is about. And doTERRA itself, they are really, really passionate about helping all of the farmers and different people that work with them. So co-impact sourcing is huge when it comes to doTERRA. And they have a couple of things that they do. So you get your oils from different parts of the world. Now you wonder how you're going to get those oils. And one of the things that they do is they go to these undeveloped countries and you can find all of the different oils, and you wonder how the process is being done. So they try to help the families and the communities and provide them with good wages. And they also do prompt payments. And they help these undeveloped countries. They build schools and hospitals, and they help these families keep and have jobs and sustainable jobs. Because if it were just to buy their crops, I mean, what do you really get out of it? So the company goes and says, I'm going to help your community. This is what we're going to do for your community. And they get paid really well, and they get to keep their jobs. So they don't buy out the farmers. One of the things that's really ethical that I find is they the one thing that they mentioned was payments on time, which a lot of people, like, here you wait 2 weeks. Those people need money right on the spot. And for two is competitive. So competitive wages, payments on time. The second thing that doTERRA, that I really love this one, and Mindy was the one who provided me with a really great example, was the Healing Hands, a nonprofit, which is really great. They build schools and hospitals, and they have really good programs for different water sources as well. They have two programs that I know one, and it really stood out to me. In Calgary, we have all the possibilities to go and buy from a store. You go get your pads, your sanitary pads. And this program is called Days for Girls, helping women and educating them on their reproductive system. It started out in Calgary, out of someone's basement and a garage, and it is now blown to be something international. And how these women are making a difference in everybody's lives. What Mindy had mentioned to me was they were making something, so insignificant maybe at the moment, and it turned out to be something so amazing. One of the groups, they said they were expecting 50 women to show up, and 300 women showed up to learn about their reproductive system and how to help these women so they don't skip school and they don't miss days from work.
I was actually at that event. Can I just?
Oh, definitely.
I was in Nepal. It was Nepal last spring, and I got to meet some of these harvesters, these women who are like maybe 100 pounds, carrying these huge packs that I'm sure weighed more than the product weight, at least 120 pounds. And come up here. Okay. I wasn't going to elaborate because we're really going to talk about cooking, but
the family on Zoom wants to hear that.
Yeah. So co-impact sourcing is one of the things that just really touches my heart, and I was so grateful to be able to go to Nepal this last spring. To me, it's one thing to hear about it, and go, yeah, that's really cool. That's great that they build schools and hospitals. I actually helped complete a hospital there. You guys, it was incredible. We slept on cement floors in a schoolhouse that was being built as well. And all of this stuff was being, doTERRA has their hands in it. They are directly involved in these huge, massive efforts. So it's really cool. It's not just that they're rewarding their employees, they're helping change all of the surrounding communities where all these essential oils come from. It's really, really cool to be part of. Days for Girls, I just want to say the founder or creator, Celeste Mergens, she's from Washington State, my home state. I mean, I'm in Canada now, love Canada. But the designer, the seamstress who designed them is from Calgary. And
Nice.
yes, right here. And once a month, the first weekend of every month, it just happened this last weekend, she has, you can go and show up and just volunteer. It's called My Sewing Room. It's off of the Cloud Trail and Heritage. And you can show up and you can make these kits, and she provides everything. You don't have to sew. You don't have to have sewing skills. Like, you can just like stuff the kits together or whatever. But it's great. We do it every single month. It's on Saturdays and Sundays, and it's like all day, so you could just drop in. I always post the events on Facebook, so you can see those. But the creator, and she's really worked hard on this design. That the packets that they have are supposed to last, they say, 3 to 4 years, which is pretty incredible when you think about it.
And they gave them out to everybody, even the grandmothers, and then
The grandmothers who are clearly not menstruating were there to pick them up for family members. And a lot of them walked all day to come to this event that was supposed to be 30 people that ended up being like 300. It was over 300. We counted. Yeah, it was really, really incredible. Yeah.
When
Anyway.
I heard that, that really stood out to me, because if whatever they can do to help and give back, that's really amazing, especially when they don't have a store nearby to run like how we do, right?
No, it's a very, very different. Yeah, and the thing about it, I think for Days for Girls in particular, is these women, when they're menstruating, they have to live with the animals. They are not allowed to go to school. They're not allowed to be educated while they're menstruating. Yeah, it's not just that they don't have pads or tampons. You have no idea. And they have to use the bathroom because it's unclean. They have to use the bathroom out in the field where a lot of times they're taken advantage of.
And they get pregnant, right? So
they do. They're abused, and because of they're vulnerable, right? To have to live with the animals and then use the fields.
What country is this?
Oh, many countries,
Nepal.
but I visited Nepal.
Some little
But
girls are
many-
getting their period at 12. So you're telling me they take
Yes.
a 12-year-old?
Yes.
They have
My
to have the
daughter's
animals.
9. That's
Yeah, I started when I was 12. Yeah.
So she witnessed, and this is why I love that doTERRA has been able to step in and help these women.
Yeah.
Not be able to skip school, or be able to just be a woman and not have to worry about hiding yourself for 7 days while you're just dealing with your normal, while you're supposed to go through a normal routine being a woman, right?
There's a documentary about it, if you guys like documentaries, and it just won an Oscar.
Wow.
It just won an Oscar about Days for Girls. Yeah,
I
so
want to
if
see
you,
it.
yeah, put it on your list. Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Awesome. So I wanted to mention that, and the second one was our Operation Underground Railroad. So it helps with sex trafficking. So they're really involved with everything that is just our children and protecting the women. So I really love that. That's really stood out to me. So the one thing I wanted to mention, how do we use our oils in our home, now that we covered what doTERRA is about and how do we use them? One of the things that I love doing in my home on a daily basis is have the aromatic soap. If the whole family can benefit, you can have it and set the mood for the day. If you really need to like get yourself off the ground, and I put some Motivate in there, and I put Easy Air. I know my friend Rizwana here loves Easy Air. So I was like, I'm thinking about her every time I have Easy Air. And Motivate, I've never smelled it, so like this is a good time to smell it and just have it for the class. So that usually clears the airways. So if you're dealing with any sort of cough or colds, this is really great to have it in your bedroom close to you. And you can see the instructions, they all work different. Have one that's gonna cover the area that you're in. And I would say about 4 drops depending on what you're using. This one I use about 4 drops for my large living room. It's really great. The second way, topical. if you need to treat anything or if you want to help with any sort of stomach upsets, sore throat, if you burnt your hand, then we use the topical version, and we use fractionated coconut, grapeseed oil, anything. If it's on your skin, I would always dilute if it comes to maybe children, or if you have a sensitivity, I always prefer the dilution process. It makes the oils penetrate a little bit deeper into the skin, and you don't need to use a whole lot. Depending on what you're doing, I would say 1 to 2 drops. So be careful with the dilution and read the instructions. And the third one, which is what we're talking about tonight on our topic, is the internal. Cooking with oils is all about the internal use and how they help, how oils help our bodies. doTERRA is the only company that I know from all the education I've had and reading about it, it's the only oils that you can take internally. And you can read the back. It would also say on each of the oils, it will mention if it's aromatic, topical, or for internal. So it will say on the bottle, and sometimes things are a little bit different from the States to Canada, but you will see some of the names might be different between Melaleuca or tea tree, but they're pretty much good for most of them. There's about 22 cooking oils we have that you can use internally. So that's really nice. When using oils for cooking, I use blends. I make different blends so the oils, when you're mixing into your salads, they get, I would use a fat. So for example, for my recipe at the back that I have for the Asian salad, you want to use either a coconut or grapeseed so the oils attach itself to a fat. So it would absorb into the salad a little bit better, and you need to have a mix with it, so carry your oil. For my water, right here, I put grapefruit today, so you just add it straight into your water. Glass, preferable, if you're using any oils. If you're using plastic, it would eventually just eat the plastic out. They're very strong and potent, so glass would be great for that. And so you can use salts and sugars. Grapeseed oil, coconut, MCT, and the one thing I do recommend is adding the oils at the end of your recipe. You can cook with them, but they may not be as strong and the potency might go down. So if you want to have all of the benefits, then the flash point is using them at the end so they don't lose their benefits and the power that they're supposed to, what they're supposed to be good for.
Question. Do you
yeah.
spray it on?
No.
Like, can you like mix it in a spray bottle and
You,
just spray it
you
on?
can if you want to. Yeah, and I would use the, I don't have one here, but I'm sure Amy does. So they are amber glass bottles. I have one at home. I use that for my cleaning supplies and to clean off my counters, but you can make your own vinegar.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, with lime, your lemon,
Yeah, flavored oil.
flavored oil, amazing, and you don't use the benefits, right? Yeah, so that's something that you can do. The toothpick method, has anybody heard the toothpick method when you cook with it? How do you use the toothpick method?
So what I do is I stick the toothpick in the hole in the orifice at the top,
Yep.
and then I flip the bottle upside down so that it gets coated and take it down, and then
Okay.
you just swirl the toothpick through whatever it is. It's really good to do with like some of the stronger oils like oregano. You might not want a full drop of that because you
Right.
might have lava
Right.
mouth.
Definitely.
or
Your
you
mouth
like
will
some
burn.
natural.
Or peppermint in your hot chocolate. You might not want a full drop. You might just want
Your
a
mouth
two
will
today.
burn. I guarantee you with the oregano. The one thing that keep in mind, so if you have if you're feeding a larger group of people, you might want to use a couple of drops, so you might not need to do the toothpick method. The one example I have here is if you have 1 teaspoon of herbs, then you would use the toothpick method. If you're using the zest from a whole lemon, then you could put about 5 to 10 drops of lemon oil. So saving yourself the lemons if you don't want to buy lemons, and if you want to use 5 drops, that's a few cents per. I think it's about 3 cents or something like that. which you're paying like $1 for the organic. If you're, all the recipes are organic, but if you are using organic, it is about $1 a lemon. So once you're using it, if you're not using the inside, the lemon will go bad in a couple of days with organic. So that could save you some money like that. A little goes a long way. So with oils, I don't use a whole lot.
But sometimes you don't have the lemon at home, or you don't have the ginger, or you don't have the cilantro, so it's a lifesaver.
I sometimes don't have the cilantro, and I use it quite lots.
Oh, yeah.
And when I seen that they have all of the herbs that I use, I got really excited. I started looking at recipes, and I have 4 days to prepare. And I was like, I can use these oils, and now get to try them internally too.
I even made herb de Provence one time because I didn't have it. I cook it with love all the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, how can I be out? This isn't possible.
Yeah.
And I actually made it. Yeah.
And it works.
So good. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So for the second part of it, we're going to let Caty introduce there's a second page that we'd like to cover. And you can go ahead, Caty, when you're ready.
Sure. So we all know that wellness is a combination of lifestyle and healthcare, and of course starts with eating right. Sometimes even if we do that, we cannot usually cover everything with that. So definitely we need some vitamins in our life. So doTERRA offers a lifelong vitality pack, which is #1 product and comes in three different bottles. So not B1 bottle, not B3, another one, not B6 or B12. So you don't have to grab and go to the pharmacy and or store to have like 10 on the counter, and you don't benefit nothing and you spend more money.
It's the minerals.
All the vitamins and the minerals are there. We have the omega-3 and we have the alpha CRS, which is amazing for energy support. Beside that, we have to exercise, we have to reduce our stress, we have to take care of ourselves, and of course, ask for medical care when we really need it. So all of these are components of the doTERRA wellness pyramid that it's offering to us. And this one comes with the benefit of joining doTERRA, which, let's be honest, some of us paid lots of money to have down the road to have a lifestyle, offered, and how to eat better and how to behave better and how to take care of your family. So everything comes free by joining doTERRA. The membership is $3. If you enroll and you get any of the enrollment kits, this one becomes free. The membership includes lots of discounts, which is 25% off, and you get free products. You have the option later on to earn money and pay for your oils. For March month, the promotion that we have, it's amazing. If you spend over 125 PV points, you get lemongrass for free. But even better, if you get to 200 PV points, you get deep blue wrap and deep blue oil, which is amazing. Beside that, you can you join the Loyalty Rewards program, and then you can earn the free products based on the points. And you can build up your percentage. You start with 10%, 15, 20, depends how much the enrollment kit you get at the beginning. I was really passionate about cooking with essential oils, by the way. I did some research, but at the same time, I was like playing around. I was like, why not? Why not this oil can go with this oil? Why not? So I really enjoy doing that, usually at least a couple times a week. I'm making my own recipes, changing those recipes, Google kind of recipes, and then I'm replacing the dry herbs with essential oils. I'm very happy that doTERRA is offering us this opportunity. So we know for sure we eat healthy. It's very convenient. It's right there in your cupboard. Sometimes you don't have to run to the store, and sometimes it's not accessible, right? So you have it through the whole year.
Yeah, season.
And yeah, it's not in season. Like Alexandra said, we have 22 essential oils that we can cook with. You can purchase all of them, or you can get them in different sets, like 11. We have 11 essential oils that we can put. You can cook, you can purchase that. We have 6 of them in a pack. You can purchase those, and they're ready to go anytime you're ready to explore cooking with essential oils. You can also get them at a retail price through us, to wellness advocates, if you're not ready to join the Terra. But it's really hard to say no. And for me, I was like, I was at the class, let's say like tonight, by the end of the class, I was like, that's it, I'm in. There's no way back, and you cannot say no to
I
a
was really impressed with
healthy
your class.
lifestyle. Yeah,
When I came to your class, you weren't even an advocate, and I was like, you cooked all this with oils. I'm like, you have to show off your recipes, because I was a little bit jealous. It's like, you have to post these, you have to tag people, because they were so delicious.
Yeah, I just trust myself. Like, I really enjoy cooking with oils, and you can play around.
You definitely inspired me.
Yeah, you can create your own recipes, and then your kitchen smells awesome, right? So it's like even my neighbors, they know, like, oh, Caty's cooking today.
Definitely.
So I'm very thankful for doTERRA. It's really awesome. I really enjoy it, and I love what I do now. So
That's awesome. So we're gonna share the first recipe. So we're gonna pass around the first bowl that I cooked with wild orange bites. I made this beautiful fat bomb. So it's gonna pass it around to Camille. And you can smell it, and I can give you a few things about it. So in my recipe, we used 3 drops of essential oil. It's a really good oil. This one was one of the first oils I got introduced to 7 years ago for my neighbor, for my kids. They were really small at the time, and my daughter was just born, my second daughter, Cora. And I went into her house, and she went up to her son, and she let him smell it, and she put it on his wrist, and I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm putting wild orange on my son. And I asked her why, and she wasn't a wellness advocate. She said, it really helps them calm him down. He's really energetic, and so we use it for a way for him to just kind of take a deep breath, relax, inhale, just be in the moment. And I was like I was just like not feeling strange listening to it, but I was like, okay, so I like, what is this for, and what is that for? And she literally had a cabinet full. By the time I left, I was like, wow. So she's like, I can give you samples. So that's how I left. I left with samples, and then I just fell in love with this oil. It's this is the oil that's cold pressed, and it's very fresh, also like citrusy and sweet. Really, really inexpensive. It's one of their most popular essential oils that they have. It is, I don't think I've ever seen it sold out, but it's the most popular one. Like, we use about 3 bottles a month in my house for my kids, because we use it, and we also cook with it. And my daughter uses it as her perfume. Like, literally, she's ready to go to school. She smells good too. Some of the things that I use it for in my home too is in my cleaning products. It's a really good agent for purifying. So putting it in your cleaning bottle in your kitchen, it's first inexpensive. For 2, I use about 5 drops, 5 to 10 drops, depending on the size of the bottle that you have. Add some lime, melaleuca, and then there's your cleaning supply right there. I remember some people coming by, and they said, your counter smells so good, I can eat off it. I'm like, you can. You can literally just eat off the counter, because there's no chemicals residue. So that's the amazing thing about it. So one thing that I want to cover, it's really good in your water for immunity support. I love this oil for that reason. There is also grapefruit that does that, but I prefer wild orange. I just love the taste. You can add it to your tea if you want to spice up your tea and it's not spicy. And it has multiple benefits. So it's great for the mind and your body. It's uplifting, has purifying agents, and it's good for the immune support, and it's uplifting.
I
Okay,
like
there's
using it to clean my fruit.
for your fruit. Yeah, I haven't done that before, but
It's really
I've done
nice. It leaves a
wine.
little hint of the wild orange on it. So
Nice.
your strawberries or whatever, just throw them in the sink with some water and a couple drops.
That's your
and
secret.
It's really good.
I've done
That's
that with
really awesome.
lemon, but I haven't tried it with.
Yeah, any of the
Wow.
citrus oils
Any of
work,
the
but I like the
citrus,
wild orange.
I like doing
Nice.
that with apples too, just soaking them, it's like slicing apples and then soaking them in the
That would taste
in the
really
water.
good.
I usually do it with on guard, but I've done it with orange.
I've done it with lime, and everyone that comes over, they'll have grapes with lime flavor, and they
Oh,
really
yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
And
And
you
it
can,
helps with removing the pesticides.
yes,
Oh, yeah,
and the
definitely.
wax. Thanks for
All the
mentioning
grass.
that.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah,
When you
it
see
just
what's,
floats to the top.
Yeah.
It's gross.
you've done it before, right?
Yeah.
What you see in
Well,
your
and
water,
grapes.
you'll be amazed after.
Lime and grapes. Now you have to.
You have
Yeah.
to try it. It is amazing. It is so refreshing. I can sit there and like probably eat the whole thing. My kids fight me for it. So that's the all the recipes. Just before you leave, I do want to mention that you can take. I made copies for everybody to take home of all the recipes that we're going to be trying as well. Okay, in our second recipe that I made, I left the book open on the table. Says it's a 5-hour beef stew. Well, my slow cooker has a setting that says 4 to 6 hours, or the one 8 to 10. But whatever setting you want to use it for, you can even do it in your oven. By the way, has anyone checked on the stew upstairs? It's been sitting in the oven, and I want to make sure.
Yeah, I'll go get it.
Yeah, and we can grab it, and everyone can have some as well after. So for this one, I've used 3 different oils: pink pepper, rosemary, and thyme. So the first one that I will pass around to you guys, that I have here, pink pepper. This is a really new oil to me. I was gonna go to her house in Airdrie and grab the actual pepper, the regular pepper. When I ordered this one. I am in love with this oil. It is not like the spicy, like burning your eyes sort of oil. It's very subtle, and it comes from the peppercorn. So the pink peppercorns, if you look up pink pepper, so they have pink peppercorns. It's a really, really nice, it's not spicy.
It's actually sweet.
Sweet.
It came
Yeah.
out at
Fruity, I should say.
convention in September, and
But it's nice.
they have a counter where you can try everything, and I put a drop in my water, and I didn't know what I was really expecting, but of course I'll
You
give it a
take
try.
everything in your water.
And it was, yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's become one of
It's
my
very
favorites.
sweet. Actually, it says 1 part sweet, and it's sweet distilled. It's not too spicy, but when it's in your food, it tastes a little bit different than when you're smelling it for some reason. You'll see in the recipe. I was able to add it to the mix with the oil, and that's the oil that I used in ginger, and it is a really good tasting oil. A little bit about it, if you want to mix this oil, if you've ever heard of a cellular complex that doTERRA sells, which is very popular, it's called DDR prime. So to regenerate your cells, they've used this oil and they mixed it in together to regenerate your cells. And what it does, if you massage this oil, it really activates your lymph nodes. So it's a really good oil for massage. You don't need a whole lot. I would say a couple of drops, and it's really great for the lymph nodes.
I use
Also-
it when dry brushing.
Dry brushing was one of the things they mentioned. Yeah. The pink pepper. So I don't know if anybody knows what dry brushing is. If you ever go into Google, it gives you a few steps. It's a special brush, and you put Slim and Sassy. You have Slim and Sassy Rizwana. Put a drop of your Slim and Sassy, and you dry brush to your skin. So it smooths your skin, gets rid of the dead cells, and it actually helps with your circulation. If you go on Google and put in dry brushing. It is really amazing. And I couldn't send it to you, but there was a whole little page that Mindy had done on dry brushing, and I'll send it to you. Really
Mindy.
amazing benefits.
Mindy.
Mindy, share Mindy. right? Yes. Just don't keep your
Send me
secrets
a
to
message.
yourself.
Yeah.
We would like everybody to know.
Send me a message.
And I need to know where to find the brush too.
Exactly.
I haven't done it yet. This oil comes from Kenya and Peru, so that's where it's indigenously found. Also, it was the tree to them. It's a very sacred tree. So the people there, the indigenous population of all the parts of the species, including the pink peppercorn fruit, as herbal solutions to health needs, it's essential, and it helps with a healthy metabolism and immunity support. It is not a really big bottle, as you can see, but a little bit goes a long way.
5 ml.
5 ml.
Yeah.
Very strong oils. You see, oh, that's very small, like 1 drop. So it says DDR cellular prime, and you mix some pink pepper, about a drop, and you can take it in your veggie cap for your immunity support. Also great to use in your massage therapy. This is one of the oils, if you want to be alert, or alertness, if you're studying, this is one of the oils I love. It's not going to burn your mouth and in your eyes, but it's going to keep your mind alert. It's really good for general GI benefits, right? It also says that it helps with blood sugar and cholesterol levels. This oil, one thing I want to mention to you, it says neutral, so no dilution. If you see the N, I would still, if it's your children and if you're massaging them, I would still dilute it for kids, because for children, their skin might be a bit more sensitive. So I always just say, just dilute it. Better be safe than sorry, right? For the stew, I did make the complimentary rice with it. It doesn't have oils in it.
Are you supposed to put the rice a little bit in it?
There's rice over there and salad. So
I didn't do it with the rice. Sorry, I didn't realize that.
it's okay. I did make warm rice with it, and you can try as well. For somebody who's doing the ketogenic diet, they can have the beef and the celery, but not the carrots.
Right.
Sorry, guys. I have to be specific. So there's so many diets out there, but I did do. I do deep. Sorry. I had followed the keto for a little while last year, so some recipes, and so I'm like, okay, I have to mention a few things about that. Okay, the second oil that I used was rosemary. This one is really, really, really strong. It was, it says neutral, the same thing, like no dilution. It's not spicy. I'm gonna pass this to you, Camille. Thanks. Yeah. For the rosemary, how many people love using rosemary? Has anybody used rosemary in their cooking?
Oh yeah.
Yes, tons of times.
Oh, yeah.
What do you use it for? Which recipe? Like,
I did put it on my turkey roast. So I do rosemary oil and black pepper oil and some olive oil and rub it on my turkey.
nice.
It's
That's
great
really
with
great.
poultry. Yeah.
Good for poultry. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I think
really,
with all
really
my
good.
oils, I just want to interject. I can't remember if you touched on this yet or not, and I might have stepped out.
Yeah.
But I usually infuse my oils in olive oil.
Yes.
Not always, but usually. And
Yeah.
it's just a lot easier to distribute it.
Yeah, that's rapeseed oil that we have.
Yeah, yeah.
Olive oil or rapeseed oil, whatever your oil.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's really good. And it was considered a sacred oil back in the days, very, very many years ago. So Greeks, Romans, Hebrews, Egyptians, this oil was very sacred to them. It is good for the respiratory, and it's really great for the digestive system. And when used, good for tension. So if you're having tension or pain, yes. And it's not spicy. So, if you're putting it along the sides here, it's not going to burn. I'm going to say a couple of things about it. So it says respiratory function and healthy digestion. The one thing it helps with is fatigue if you're feeling really tired. A lot of people may just think, okay, rosemary, I'm just going to use it in my cooking. But that's what the vegetable capsules are really good for, because you can add it and not have to taste it. You don't have to smell like rosemary leaving your house.
Yeah.
You're just putting it right in your vegetable capsule and you're drinking it, and it does what it's supposed to do on your stomach. It's good for aromatic, topical, internal, and if you want to use it for anything, tension, it says ease muscles and joint pain. So some of these plants, they come from, all the way back to the 1550s. But we just don't know so much about them, and now that they're coming out, everyone's using them for massages, for cooking, I love all that.
You can taste the pink pepper, but not
a lot, right?
but not
If you
not
see
like the bottle.
the
but
amount
you-
I've made,
once you know, and it's good. Really
right?
good.
I made a huge, that is for the size of a turkey, like to make a turkey in it on the pot that I've used. And that's 2 drops of pink pepper soy for that whole recipe, right? So that's,
They're
those,
very, very potent.
yeah, like people will say, they use a lot of black pepper. I would not do that if you're gonna use pink pepper. It's fruity, it's more subtle. I've never used it, so guys, this is my first time making that specific recipe. I bought that book a couple months ago,
It's good.
and as soon as I talked to Kathy and she shared some recipes, I'm like, I gotta make something with this oil because it's really good benefits, and I wanted to learn how to make something different. Okay, one thing I want to mention here, says good for concentration when you're studying, nervous tension, and fatigue for rosemary. Okay, the second oil we covered, I have a third oil, thyme. This one is switch it over. Wow, this one is very, very strong as well. This one I would use even less. If you guys ever smell thyme, you know it's very, very strong. It is antiseptic. It's got antiseptic properties. This is one of the oils that get rid of bugs. If you don't like bugs in the summer, you don't like them, bugs don't like this oil, okay? It does not like it. So I use this, I diffuse this outside on my patio with lemongrass and lavender. I did not get a bite, okay? We went camping and the little diffuser was plugged in. We had a mini one and we could just see the flies like around us, like the bugs were like, oh yeah. It was just really nice. I got introduced to that by my sister-in-law, and I was like, because she's using all of the different mixes, and I was like, what is in there? It smells so good. And we're all like inhaling it, putting it on us. There were so many mosquitoes in BC. I was like, I'm gonna come back and just be covered. No, that was not the case. I put lavender on me, lemongrass, and I put those 2 oils, and I was like, okay, just living the life. I did not get a bite, which was really nice. So I really love that oil for that reason. Also in your cooking, if you're making turkey, I'm not sure, everybody, I don't know if everybody eats meat or they don't eat meat, and if you don't eat meat, that's okay too. You can use it for the benefits internally and for aromatic and make your own bug repellent. So you don't have to use it just in your cooking. One of the things I want to mention about it is got really powerful antioxidants, and it's really good for the immune system. This one as well comes from the leaf as well as the rosemary, and they are steam distilled. The only one that I can mention and see over here is the wild orange, was the only one that was cold pressed. I can mention one of the things about it. So back in the days, long time ago, this oil was used in the Middle Ages when the knights and the warriors were going into battles. Their wives used to make them these little pouches and attach it to their belts as a way to protect them and for a peaceful night's sleep. So putting time under your pillow. Now you can just diffuse it. You don't need to put herbs under your pillow. Right? So that's really nice. It's antibacterial, and it's got a warm floral, sorry guys, like a floral kind of taste, but also very strong. More on the herby side, so more like a herb.
Oh,
Not really.
floral?
Yeah, but also herby. So I would say the description is that both.
Sweet.
Yeah, to me, it just tastes like a herb. The pink pepper, okay, I can see the fruit part of it. And then for that recipe, that covers that. For the Asian fusion salt, this one's the keto approved one. I came up with this recipe 2 days ago because I really wanted to introduce ginger. And I went to our office and I was working for about an hour and I was helping Farina for a little bit. She's here in the audience. And I was like, do you need help? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start typing out this recipe because I really wanted to try, because I love making salads. Every single time we have a get together at our house, we have a salad. And I really wanted to have ginger. And I wanted to have something with lemongrass. I love lemongrass. So I said, what am I going to do? And I didn't look up anything online, but I was looking keto friendly. And I was like, how do I put these oils so I can make it so, you can indulge in this recipe, right? So for this recipe, you can use any greens that you like. And there's different kinds. And I mentioned them all above: romaine, cress, arugula. For this specific recipe, I used arugula, mixed greens, and spinach. All of the 3 greens that I had in hand, organic, and I let them soak. I didn't soak them with oils because I didn't want you guys to taste other things other than what the mixture of the salad is supposed to be, which is ginger, lemongrass, and basil, a little bit of Himalayan salt, and regular pepper for this one. If I missed the pink pepper, it would have been a totally different taste.
Vinegar there or not even?
Apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar. And I have a couple of things that the reason why I added the hemp seeds and apple cider vinegar, I use these 2 in a lot of my recipes for blood sugar control, digestion, candida, hair. It's good for your skin. You got those healthy fats in the hemp seeds. You only need like a teaspoon or 2 tablespoons. I don't know. You can put like 2 tablespoons. Or if you don't like your salad to taste very nutty, then you would just put less hemp seeds. Helps with, it has vitamin E and calcium and all of that stuff in the hemp seeds, which is really good. Now the oils I gotta cover because that's one of the things that's the important part. So for the lemongrass, I love this oil a lot because I love Vietnamese food and I love Asian dishes. So when I looked up online like Asian and Vietnamese food, lemongrass is one of the oils that comes into almost every single recipe. I was like, whoa. And I had that oil and I was just diffusing it for the longest time. And my friend goes, can you give me a bottle? I use it at work, at the hospital. There's so many different smells. And I was like, sure. And I kept smelling it and I was like, this reminds me of like Asian cooking and dishes. And it's one of the main ingredients. It's very popular for that in the cuisine. It comes from India, and there's about 400 studies just on this specific oil. So this is the oil you would mix with your thyme for the insect repellent and lavender. It's gonna be your best friend this summer.
Which oil is that?
Lemongrass, lavender, and thyme. I'm sure there's other recipes out there, but that's just what I used when I went. This one is really good for muscle pain. So it is known, fun fact, this is what I looked it up because I love this oil, so I looked it up. It says already distilled lemongrass they used from the plant is to use that fuel at the distillation for the boiler. So it's a already distilled lemongrass plant used to fuel the distillation boilers. So it's giving back, I believe, like using it for 2 different things. So they're harvesting the oil, but then they're using the oil that's already been distilled to do something else for their. I was like, that's amazing. That's something that you don't really hear. It's very resourceful. It's esper sensitive. So if you're going to apply it because it's a fruity oil, if you're gonna put it on your skin, I would say put a little bit of coconut oil or olive oil. And if you want to smell like it, that's great, but I wouldn't expose yourself just right to the sun right away just for the sensitivity. I like to use it during this kind of time. It smells like it's got a really unique scent.
If for any of the citrus, just
Yes.
avoid direct sunlight
Yes.
for 24 to 48 hours to wherever you.
Oh my goodness, it smells so delicious. You can make a drink out of it. So it says it's an ideal component in massage therapy. This is what it looks like. So they have to carry these plants and they have to walk up a mountain, and it's about 3 days of harvesting, and then they have to come back down just to do this kind of harvesting. It's a very, very hard plant to harvest. So if you can get your hands on the soil, just know how much work it is put towards getting this oil. They work very hard. Also, if you combine it with fractionated coconut oil, it is really good for if you apply it after a workout. For people who are dealing with bone pain, muscle aches, and so yeah, the things that I mentioned is body aches, and really great for the digestive system as well. I prefer this one than the plant. I mean, they give you the plant when you go to the restaurant, but the dry herb is even better, but the oil, you get the benefits right away into the body within 20 minutes. So if you're dealing with anything, you can feel it internally. So for the dilution, it does mention that you want to rub it or spritz on the skin before going outside. And like Amy mentioned, you just want to be cautious with the citrus oils when it comes to the sun. I'm very careful. Like you can dab them on your face and on your skin. And you use almost any of the oils on your skin except deep blue, and like there's a couple of them. I wouldn't do it right before you go outside. Then before you go to sleep, and avoid around the area around the eyes. They're great for your skin, and so is the salad. And apple cider vinegar is really good for your skin. So if you want to try that on your skin, apple cider vinegar, you can do lemongrass coconut oil, and acne spots and redness. I've looked that up, and so that's really good to try. Okay, the last but not least oil, which is one of the oils I also fell in love with recently, which is quite new, is ginger. Ginger oil. I was wasting a lot of ginger in my house because my husband uses ginger almost every night during the winter with it's called the cough and throat congestion by traditional medicine. In the organic aisle is his favorite tea, and he uses a lot of ginger, fresh ginger from the root. I love cooking with fresh ginger as well. What we were doing is we were buying ginger, but I was wasting almost half of my ginger because it would go dry and it would just look all shriveled up. So if you're not going to use a lot of it, just don't even buy it. Like I would say, just use the ginger, 1 drop, and it will do the job. I'll give you an example. So 1 drop of peppermint oil would be equivalent to 28 tea bags. So if you're buying ginger, maybe get a little more, use the oil so you're not wasting anything, right? This is really good to have on the plane for traveling. For nausea, as you're taking off, just even smelling it, it does something to you where it helps you. I had
sickness.
Morning sickness.
Or I just put it in my water bottle before I go out on the ocean because I don't do both.
You don't like the feeling of being out in the...
And I just keep sipping my ginger water. It's amazing.
Right. It smells really good. So it's your digestive aid. This is the way I think of ginger oil. My daughters use Digest Zen because they just know Digest Zen, but I also told them, Mommy makes a ginger tea. It's fine. I use it for cramping, your time of the month. If you're just want to use it for wintertime, for flu and cold season, it's good for any digestion support. If you're bloated, gas. It comes from Madagascar, and it's a hot oil. So when I dilute it, I put a little bit of coconut oil and about 2 drops counterclockwise a few times, and then That's it. Just cover up, and then if you want to repeat the process, you can do it again in a couple hours. If you guys can taste it, or I'm not sure. It's inside the recipe as well. The salad. Not a whole lot. I was too worried, I guess, to put too much, because then it would be. It's really powerful, and it's a strong oil. So this is one of the oils that is also steam distilled as well, and it comes from the root. So that's it for that. If you guys have any questions for me, I can answer any questions, or we can leave it off to the end, and I'll let Katy share a couple of the recipes that she made and her oils.
So I made 2 recipes for tonight. One of it is Greek pasta salad. Another one is the apple crumble. So for the Greek pasta salad, the traditional Greek pasta salad, I used basil, oregano, and lime. So I really like this combination. Before to talk about this, I just wanted to give you a few more info about cooking with essential oils that I think it's really good to know. So when we consume internally, it's better not to use more than 20 drops of any essential oil used within a 24 hours period. And you also have to take into consideration your state of health, your age, your weight, the oil itself, and of course to consult your physician. Also, another thing that I wanted to say is about the cookware that you use. So no plastic at all. It's better to use stainless steel, ceramic, or glass. For cooking with heat, like Alexandra mentioned earlier, it's better to add it to the end, because when they evaporate the essential oils due to the steam. So it's better to add it at the end if possible. For baking, like for the apple crumble, I had to put it at the beginning. So the recipe calls for 3 drops of cloves, which I add a little bit more. I add another one because the process is 50 minutes in the oven, so you won't feel it that strong. So I add a little bit more to that. And of course, you also take into consideration the measurement, the toothpick, and then if you're baking, a little bit more oil. And then, of course, the large quantity.
I have a question about your considerations. So, what about freezing essential oils?
To be honest, I never did anything related to that.
You can.
But I'm assuming anything
done.
that's citrusy, I'm assuming you can freeze that.
I've looked it up. So for the wild orange bites, you can freeze them, and it doesn't lose its quality. Does anybody know anything about? Yes, go ahead.
Well, I was reading an article in regards to gel caps, because people were saying they dissolve. You should don't make them ahead. And they said, if you make them ahead, put them in your freezer, because the oils will not freeze, the gel caps will. So I'm assuming that that's something similar to when it's cooked. Would be kind of the same thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I read that same, and I'm like, oh, that's so smart.
Well, I asked because my fiance's mother, she likes to prepare her food by making these little seasoned balls, and then she freezes them in ice cubes. So I'm thinking, you could add a couple of drops, but would it?
Yeah, if it has a carrier, I would do the carrier. Like, if depending what she's making, they need a carrier. So if
So butter would be a carrier. If she makes like her herbs and stuff in a glob of butter, that would work.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm
So
assuming
fat
also
is carrier.
you need a fat.
the apple crumble you can be frozen too, right? It's no.
Right here it's mentioned, so the oil blends. It says olive oil. You can use coconut. Carrier would be like your salts, your sugars, your oils, and your water, and you can also use ghee. So there's a whole list even on mine, but there's a few mentioned over there that you can use as your carrier.
Thank you.
Sorry.
One thing that I wanted to mention also don't ever drop your essential oil right to the recipe. Like, always make sure you combine it with something else. It might be too powerful, just even one drop. If you really need more, you can add after. You don't want to
You
ruin.
can't take it out though.
You can take it out. You don't want to
cannot
ruin
take
the
it out.
entire recipe that you worked so hard for it, right? I wanted to mention also that you can use any floral oils for any plain recipes or any desserts, any teas. You can use the citrus for the baked goods, for beverages, for yogurt, for salsa. The spices, you can use them for vegetables, any meats, any sweets also. The herbs we can substitute, of course, with the dry ones, and we can use them for any Italian or Greek dishes, for soups, for breads, for pasta, for potatoes. The mint family, we can use them for beverages, desserts, salads, and of course for certain meats. I'm going to talk a little bit about few oils that we should never use internally. The arborvitae, cedarwood, cypress, Douglas fir, eucalyptus, wintergreen, and spikenard. I'm not sure if I say that right. So I just wanted to mention that to you. So my first recipe, the Greek pasta salad, like I said, I use basil, oregano, and lime. I'm just going to mention a few things about the basil. The Greek people believe that using basil plant and basil oil, it will give you the opportunity to open up the gateways to heaven. It's a warm, spicy herbal aroma. It's using, of course, in cooking and to have fresh herbal flavor to any dishes you do. It's stem distillation and comes from the leaf, and it's sourced from the US. The benefits that you have using basil internally, it's really good to fight bacteria, infection, and viruses. Reduces any disease, causes inflammation, releases congestion and head colds. It fights the free radical damage. It stimulates the nervous system, which is really, really good, and the adrenal cortex. It's a natural antiviral. It's really good to you and helps you with the stomach spasm, and it's good for if you have a loss of appetite, which I do. It's very good for the intestinal worm infection. Also, it's better not to use for children under 6 years old and for people with epilepsy. And you should really avoid this oil when you're pregnant.
One thing I can mention is good for cardiovascular
system, yeah.
And mental, if you're trying
mental
to
clarity.
Yeah, and if you're trying to study, it's a really good oil for focus.
Yeah.
It's when you smell it and you won't whoa, that's just what it's gonna do to your mind as well. It's not gonna. Don't use lavender for studying, guys. You're gonna pass out. Use basil.
Yeah. So the second oil that I used, it's oregano. It's the most potent and powerful essential oil. It's very popular in cooking. Comes from stem distillation from leaf part, and it's sourced from Turkey. The benefits using it internally. It's really good and helps the respiratory and digestive systems. It's antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal. For respiratory system, it helps with cough and colds and flu, with sinus infection and allergies. For digestive system, it helps with abdominal swelling, with heartburn, and also with a small intestine bacterial overgrowth. It also treats candida and yeast infection. The third oil I'll use is lime. It's cold pressed from the peel of the fresh limes. It's very used in any entrances and beverages for its fresh citrus flavor. It comes from Brazil. And the benefits that you can have using it internally, it improves your heart health, helps fight against cancer. It's really, really good for your boost your immune system, and it's very good for kidney stone prevention, and also increase the iron absorption. for the
Good cleaner too.
good cleaner
I
too.
love this for my cleaning. Wild orange.
For the apple crumble, I use 2 essential oils, cinnamon and clove. I'm just going to talk because I think we're going to run out of time. I'm just going to talk directly about the benefits of the cinnamon. It's very warming and tonic, and it helps to expel cold and flu. It's really warm for the digestive tract. It helps with slow digestion, release muscle pain due to the cold weather and when you're really tired. Decreases inflammation and bad cholesterol, reduces blood sugar, it fights infection, increases circulation, and relieves depression. Stimulates the immune system and fights the viruses. It's very high and a high antioxidant content.
That's really good in your tea as well. Cinnamon. So if you don't like the powder form, the oil is really great too.
It's really great, yeah. For cinnamon, I'm going to talk again about the benefits. It's tonic. I think that's the one I talked. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to talk about clove. There you go. I forgot my favorite one. So clove is one of my favorite oils.
Introduced me to clove, and even I had it in my house.
It's hot, it's tonic, it's antiseptic. You can use it for any cold and flu. It supports cardiovascular health. It's really, really important and lower the blood pressure. It's really good for stomach when you have hiccups or if you have a heavy breath. For motion sickness, it helps a lot when you have the shivery part of the sickness, when you know in the first stages of getting a cold or a flu. It's really good for respiratory system, for your immune system also. It's anti-inflammatory and it's liver protective. What I really wanted to mention about this, there are a few precautions with it. So if you use any medication for your blood thinning, it's really important not to use clove at that time. Or any medication such as an anticoagulant, it's really important not to use it. And also not to use it longer than 2 weeks consecutively.
It's a very strong oil, so it's one of the tops for strong oils. This one and oregano. So if you're gonna take it, I would say do the 10 days and then take a break.
Yeah, take a break. Yeah, I not recommend it for children under 2 years and also for the pregnant babies.
Yes. One thing I wanted to mention about this one is really good if you're having any dental pain or any problems with your teeth. Anyone that I've ever gave it to for any pain in their teeth, that was my first reaction with this oil. I used it. My sister-in-law called me, and I just went to the dentist the day before. They said my teeth were fine. I was like, why am I having this pain in my gums? I took a drop of the clove oil, and I rubbed it around the area. I did that for 2 days. I did that 3 times a day. I called her on the 3rd day, and I was like, completely the redness, the swelling was gone, and that was just how I was introduced to clove. And I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And then I had it in your apple crumble, and I really loved it. But you can't use a lot of it. It helped. And then a friend, the same situation. She tried clove the same way, gave her a little sample, she's having pain. An hour later, she called me. She's like, what did you give me? Like, my tooth is feeling amazing. So it's just, I mean, it depends on what the problems that you have. But if it's doing its job, if it's anti-inflammatory and the pain, it works. This is what they used back in the days for dental preparations. Yeah, and they used to stick clove in their gums, and now you can just rub the oil. You don't have to stick any cloves in your gums.
And it's also good for if you want to quit smoking. I'm actually doing that for my husband now with black pepper and a veggie cap. So it's really good for any cravings, related to addiction. So one of them is smoke. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming tonight and sharing your time with us and driving from all over the city to spend this time with us.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Bye,
And
guys.
for those of you, online, we'll say goodbye. See if there. Oh no, we don't have any Q&A here. Let me just check on the live. We'll just say goodbye here. Thanks for joining us, and we'll wrap it up.